those recorded, right?
As long as you want.
I went to go find one yesterday, but I wasn't able to with the 18 more. I'm like,
It's great.
so
I love it.
actually, I was getting two.
I hope it actually is recording. Like, listening to it.
You have to make sure, right?
Should be good.
So the word that comes to mind from my perspective that defines a lot about Prineville is resiliency. And as you know, as we went through the unprecedented recession a few years back, we were heavily dependent on natural resources, timber in particular. We lost some sawmills, all our sawmills, but we still had a big contingent of remanufacturing, which was the industry I was a part of for many years. And that resilient nature that the folks in Prineville have has brought us in a whole new different direction than anybody could have anticipated with the tech industries that have decided to locate in our community. And what I find fascinating about Prineville and the folks that live there and come to live there is it's not uncommon to go visit with Mayor Ropey, who's here today, and go visit Facebook or go visit Apple and see somebody there that worked for Les Schwab or worked for me at Wood Grain or American Pine Products since they came out of high school, came out of Cook County High School. And now they're part of one of two of the biggest companies and most dynamic companies in the United States. I find that fascinating. I just want to point out, in the case of Prineville, I'm going to miss a bunch of things. Mayor, you're sitting back there. Deschutes River Conservancy, FSEC at the state, Regional Solutions, League of Oregon Cities. She's also the Mayor of the Year a couple years ago, but definitely her influence on gaining information, telling our story to state agencies, to the mayor, or to the governor, to business executives at Apple and Facebook. Definitely her agenda has made a very positive influence, and her level of what I would characterize as simply energy in promoting and pushing for what the community is wanting out of their city government. She's been very influential. So. Well, thank you, Rick. Where's my bong now? So this obviously is a serious subject for all of us, but to walk you through what we did in Prineville, when the marijuana legislation came into process and we could see what direction the state was going, the council directed staff to try to get ahead of it in terms of land use planning. So our planning director, Phil Stenbeck, I believe is here with us today. He and his staff put together a process where we brought in a lot of the public at planning commission meetings and council meetings to identify where in our city medical and recreational marijuana sites should be, and taking into consideration all the rules that changed as we went through that process. And when we got that completed, in fact, the LCDC actually gave the city award for public participation in the land use process, and Phil received that award on behalf of the city. The second thing we did is we did a survey with the community to confirm what the council felt the will of the community was with respect to their feelings and their desires with marijuana, both recreational marijuana and medical marijuana. So we have the land use sites set at the city, and then as medical marijuana became legal, we do have a medical marijuana business in our community, sited at one of the predetermined sites that went through the land use process. And then as a council, we decided that since about 70% of our population through the survey process indicated that they weren't in favor of recreational marijuana, and the conflict between the federal law and the oath that our councilors take to uphold the federal law, it was determined by the council that we were ready to go with recreational marijuana. We had the medical marijuana folks cited in our community, but until the marijuana was removed from the schedule, the federal schedule of drugs at the federal level, that we weren't going to allow recreational marijuana dispensaries in the community. So that's where we're at today. We're waiting to see what plays out on the federal level. You know, we don't have the population base of Redmond area. We're not on 97, but we identified a roundabout opportunity at a failing intersection where the data centers population is, with all the workers, construction workers, and the direct labor jobs associated with the operations. And we were able to work with our group, our COAC group, our Central Oregon Area Commission on Transportation, and get funding. But I think what's more important, and we touched on it here, is one of the reasons that we were able to do that in Prineville is when we brought the tech center guys in, we had the foresight through the council and the county commissioners to say, okay, look guys, we know when this comes in that you're going to stress this particular intersection, this section of our transportation system. So we asked them to give us money up front. We didn't know what we were going to do with it, but we said, we came up with kind of a crazy formula. Gary, you helped us with that. So the ODOT guys were involved in that. We worked together and we came up with some funds, back to Eric's point, that we could leverage. And then when the time was right, as we went through our COAC process, or we went through the STIP process, we came to the table with a significant amount of funding, and that made that project possible. So I think Eric and the rest of the group here is making a very good point. As we move forward and we have to create these job opportunities, these income opportunities, with bringing in new types of businesses that help participate in this process. And it can't be just on the back of SDCs. It just won't work. We have to be ahead of that and start to have momentum in that we're anticipating where that next investment needs to be. Once you get behind the curve, it's really difficult to catch up. My point, along with Eric's, is we need to reach out. We need to educate. We need to go talk to the Patriot Group. We need to go talk to the Band Brothers. We need to go talk to some of these folks that give them the opportunity to learn and give us the opportunity to learn from them. And I think that goes a long way in building that trust.